Hey guys, what's up? So today we're going to be looking at utilities, okay? And it says here utilities, and it says electricity, water, gas, and phone bills, right? So these are pretty much the basic utilities for anyone in the Caribbean. They have to pay for gas, phone bills, water, and electricity, okay? So these are pretty essential at this moment. And it says the essential utilities you have to pay include gas, water, and electricity. There might be other essential services that you may need to function in this modern day, like internet, telephones, and cable to keep current with global concerns. An example of utility bill prices. So we're going to look at some examples here of what it would cost in Jamaica. Cool. So for JPS for your light bill, it's probably going to cost you about $10,000 per month. If you have, 3 or 4 people living in one house, it would definitely cost you about that amount. Your water bill would probably cost you around 5,000, between $3,000 and $5,000 per month. Internet and cable would cost you around $7,000 from Flow or Digicel. Cooking gas may cost you around 4,000 monthly if like 4 or 5 people live in one home. And your telephone bills would cost you $3,000 monthly. Cool. So let's add up all of that over here. So we have 10,000 for the light bill and 5,000 for the water bill, 7,000 for the internet and cable, 4,000 for the gas, and 3,000 for the telephone, right? So let's add these up, and we actually get 7 plus 4 plus 3 is 14, plus 5 is 19, and we end up with $29,000, right? So I'm just showing you guys $29,000 is a good amount to pay each month for your bills. So please give mommy and daddy a pat on the back and say thank you, mommy and daddy, for paying the bills sometimes because it's not easy. It can get rough if you really don't have a steady income. So, big up your parents, big up mommy and daddy, right? And it says electricity is in measure of watts, right? So they usually measure electricity in kilowatt hours, right? And water and gas are measured in cubic meters, right? Which is usually meters cubed or centimeters cubed. Cool? All right, so let's do some examples now, guys. All right. So we're looking at the first example here, and it says find the electricity bill for Mr. Andrews' home given the table shown below. Assume that there is a standing charge of $35.90 and that off-peak units are sold at half price. Okay, so let's look at the electricity bill here. It says the name is Mr. Andrews, number of units used 245 units in the peak hours and 793 in the off-peak hours, and the cost per unit is 15 cents. Cool. So let's calculate the amount he has to pay for the peak hours. Cool. So let's just write bill here is equal to the 245, right, multiplied by 15 cents per unit, right? So this is multiplied by 15 cents, right? And let's not use bill. Let's say peak, right? Let's call this peak because that would be the peak amount, the peak dollar amount, all right? So that's the peak dollar amount, and that would be equal to 245 multiplied by 15. Cool. So let's just put that in our calculators now, guys. Using our calculators, we should get 3,675. Right, so we should get 3,675, and this is in cents, right? Right, 3,675, and this is in cents. So in dollars, it would be $36.75. Cool. All right, so let's calculate the off-peak units now. It says that off-peak units are sold at half price, okay? So the off-peak, right? The off-peak price is equal to 793 multiplied by 15 cents over 2. Cool? Because it's half price. So we can use our calculators as well. It's 793 multiplied by 15 divided by 2. All right, and we actually get 5947.50 cents. Okay, so this would actually be 59.47 dollars. Okay, so this is what we should get. All right. Now remember they said that there's a standing charge of $35.90. Okay, so the total bill should be equal to the standing charge, the $35.90, added to the $36.75, added to the $59.47. Cool? So when we add this all up now, we should get 132.12. All right, guys? Okay, so this is the amount for the bill. All right, guys? Cool. All right, guys, so let's move on to the next question. All right, guys, so let's look at another example now. This is actually a water rate example. All right, guys. So it's saying here Mr. Alexander used 105 cubic meters of water for the first half of 1992. Okay. In 1992, water rates for domestic users for a half year were as follows: $2.5 per cubic meter for the first 25 meters cubed, $2 per cubic meter for the next 50 meters cubed, and $1.5 per cubic meter for the amounts in excess of 75 meters cubed. And there's a 5% discount on the bills paid before July 7th. Calculate the amount Mr. Alexander paid for the half year, assuming that the bill was paid before the 1 week period, right? So this means he paid the bill early, okay? All right, so the first thing we have to do is calculate how much he paid for the first 25 meters. He used 105 cubic meters cubed of water, right? So he used 105. So for the first 25, it would be $2.5 multiplied by 25, right? Right, multiplied by 25 meters cubed. And we would get, let's use our calculators, and we would get $62.5 here. Okay, so that's for the first 25 meters cubed. So for the next 50 meters cubed, it would be $2, right? Multiplied by 50 meters cubed. Okay, so this would be 2 times 50, which is 100. So this is $100 for that amount, and 1.5 per cubic meter for the amounts in excess of 75 meters cubed. So we'd have to subtract the 105, right, from 75 meters cubed, right? This is meters cubed, because we already used it up here, and we're going to end up with 30 meters cubed. So that's all that's left. So this would end up being 1.5, because it's 1.5 for anything in excess of 75 meters cubed, times 30 meters cubed, and we would get $45. Okay, and this is actually $100, not 1,000. All right, so when we add all of these now, we should get the amount for the bill. Okay, the 100 to the 45 to the 62.5. So let's just add those up, guys, with our calculators, and we should get 207.50. Cool. So this is the bill. But remember, he paid before the 1 week period, which is before July 7th. So you should get a 5% discount on the bill. Okay. So if you get a 5% discount, guys, remember you can subtract the 5% from 100%, which is the bill, right? And then multiply it by the 207.50. So we would end up with 95 over 100 multiplied by 207.50. And you should get The answer should be 197.13. All right, guys. So this is the total bill, and that's the answer for this question. Okay. It's okay. I think it was a good question, and you just have to read the question, guys. Read the question carefully and see exactly um, what they're saying. And once you just follow the question and calculate what you need to calculate using common sense, you should be totally fine. All right. So let's look at one more example. So we're looking at the last example here, and it's actually a telephone bill example. So it says, in July, Mr. Barnes' telephone bill was calculated from the following information. And we have a table here showing the duration of minutes, how long he was on the phone, fixed charge for 3 minutes or less, charge per additional minute. The monthly rental for the telephone bill is $39. The refund for 2 weeks when the telephone was not working is $14.5. And it says, calculate Mr. Barnes' telephone bill, right? All right, so let's just write telephone bill here, right? Telephone bill. And so let's look at the table here. It says a fixed charge for 3 minutes or less. So when he was on the phone for 3 minutes for Japan is $25, right? $25.50 plus the additional 2 minutes. So that's 2 multiplied by 8.75. Cool. So that represents how much he would have to pay for speaking to somebody in Japan. Okay. So for the 2 additional minutes for the after the 3 minutes, it's 8.75 times the 2. So okay, and you seem to call somebody in Senegal as well. And there's a fixed charge for that. It's just $8.4, right? For 2 minutes. And for Toronto, he was only on the phone for 3 minutes, so there's also a fixed charge as well, 20.10. Cool. And there's also a monthly rental fee of $39, right? But we also have to subtract the refund after we add all of this. So let's just add the bill itself, okay? And we should get 2 times 8.75 plus 25.5 plus 8.4 plus 20.1 plus $39. Okay, so the bill is actually 110 and 50 cents, right? But remember, there's a refund for the 2 weeks when the telephone bill was not working, right? So the telephone bill is going to be equal to 11050 minus the refund, okay? Because you're not gonna pay that $14.50 because you got a refund for it. Cool. So when we subtract the $14.50 from the $110.50, we should get $96. Cool. And this is actually the telephone bill. All right. So Mr. Barnes' telephone bill is $96 for the month. Cool. All right. So this is the last example, guys, and please do the worksheet, and I'll see you guys later. All right. All right, guys. So that's it, and I'll see you in the next lecture. And remember to do your best, and God will do the rest.